Hi, this is Wax Day. So I'm getting a lot of questions in my inbox from lots of artists from different countries, Uganda, Malawi, Nigeria, asking me different questions about their music rights. So I'm going to try to answer a few of them from time to time because obviously I can't respond to everybody that comes to my inbox. And I hope that you find it helpful. Um, what I'm going to talk about today is publishing, music publishing. A lot of people are still grappling with the issue, what is music publishing? Now, imagine that you cook a sauce, you cook a stew, and you know your mom has a special recipe that she used to cook that stew. But she writes that recipe down on like in a book format, and when anybody copies that recipe, she gets that particular kind of stew. It tastes that good, you know. So it becomes her property. So every Coca-Cola has a formula that they use to create that particular taste. KFC chicken has a particular formula that they use to create that particular taste. It's same thing with music. If you produce a piece of music, you know, there's a certain combination of notes and harmonies, and chords and progressions and rhythms, and you know, that come together to create that magic sauce. Which is anybody can cook the sauce, you know, but only one person owns that recipe, and that, you know, that combination has created a combination that makes that soup. That's what publishing basically is in music. It means that anybody can record a song, but only one person wrote that particular melody, that combination of notes or chords, and those particular lyrics that, you know, gave it that emotion and that gave it that feeling. So when you write, and you don't necessarily have to be the person that sang the song. When you write a melody, or you contribute to the melody or the lyrics, or even the arrangements, you know, the progression of chords that create the beat to music, then you own rights, publishing rights or composition rights, and those are paid for. You know, those people, you can earn royalties from that. You should earn royalties from that. Whenever that song is played on TV, on radio, in a public venue where it's performed and all of that, because they're using your composition, you're using your creation, your creativity to entertain people. That's basically what it is. You also get mechanical royalties every time that a song or that piece of art is transferred from one medium to another. So say somebody downloads your song on a phone, it leaves from one, it comes to, and it transfers to their phone. That's a transfer. Or somebody buys, you know, it downloads it. That then you earn a royalty on that for your creativity. And that's where publishers are the people that assist you to get that money, because they follow that money. To do that, songs must be registered, of course. So publishers help you to register your music, but also you must also become a member of what they call a collecting society. In Cameroon, it's called Sonacam, but the system in Cameroon is not very well structured and organized. But in places like South Africa, South African Music Rights Organization, SAMRO, is very well structured, right? Structured. There's ASCAP, there's others. You know, so try to become a part. I really recommend that even if you're a member of Sonacam in Cameroon, or you know, or if you're in a country where it's not very well developed, try to become a member of a foreign body that has a wide international reach and that is well organized. For example, I became a member of SAMRO in South Africa like over a decade ago. Until date, I get my royalties, you know, for all my music being played back and my accounts, you know. Now, should you work with the publisher? Yes, I recommend that you should work with the publisher. But what actually works best for indie artists is that you should form your own publishing company. You can become your publisher. What I would normally do is that I'll do a publishing company and sign myself to my company as a writer, not a singer. A singer is different from a writer. A writer owns the composition. A singer might be the composer, but the composer might be different. So I would form my own publishing company. I would sign myself to my publishing company, and then my publishing company will do an administration deal with a renowned publishing company that has a structure to actually pursue my rights. In that way, it helps me in two ways. As an artist, I don't necessarily have the time to do publishing and go after the money and do administration, because it's a lot of paperwork. You have to register the songs, follow up. In case there's a dispute, you have to resolve them and all of that. You don't have that time. But if you have a publisher, look at, for example, Share, you know, music in South Africa, which is a really good one for independent artists. If you have a publisher like that, and then you have your own publishing company, it protects the rights firstly under your company. Then your company can have an administrative deal with Share, where Share takes a percentage of your company's publishing for each artist to administer and do that work for you. So what happens is that as a writer, you make money as the composer, but you also make money as a publisher. And then the bigger publisher that you self-publish to or do an administration deal with only takes a percentage of the publisher's share. The publisher's share normally goes from 50 to like 30%, something like that, sometimes 25%, yeah. But the maximum is 50% of the publishing. And it's really important because it's better to have a piece of everything than to have, everything of nothing. So I'll recommend that artists learn to form their own publishing companies, sign their publishing, but then lean on established companies that know how to do the job. Now, as a publisher, also you have the ability, once you have a system that functions, to sign other writers on their publishing companies. For foreign music, once your music gets played in different radio stations, different and all of that, or you get streaming royalties, sometimes it gets really difficult to follow up that money. And you might not know exactly how much money you're making. But then when you get your statements from your publisher to your publishing company, for example, that if you're receiving 30 francs CFA or $30 as a publisher's share, then you know that there's $70. If it was 30% to the publisher, then you have the $70 that is left to your name as the composer, which you have to collect from your collecting society. So that gives you an indication of how much money you're making, so that you don't lose money. So the publisher helps in that way. The publisher cannot touch your money as a writer. You can only touch the publisher's share. But then the publisher's statements will give an indication of how much the writer is making, because you know from your percentage what you're making, that what you should be getting from your writer's side. The other thing is also that big publishing companies also do what's called synchronization. So they help to get music also to TV programs, documentaries, advertisements. They form these relationships, and synchronization, it gives a lot of money to artists and to writers. You don't need to have a hit song to make money from synchronization. Basically, when advertisements are going on TV, big clients, when they are doing National Geographic documentaries, movies, even big blockbusters. When you see, for example, Davido, his song being on Coming to America too, it's through a publisher, because those are deals that's a sync deal. So it becomes part of a soundtrack. And an established publisher can help you to do that, especially if your private publishing company has an administration deal. They will do it for you because they know they're going to make a percentage from the publisher's cut. But then you'll save money make money as a publisher, and then you make money as a writer. So it's really advisable to go down that route. The most important thing is that read up as much as possible, and if you need Calabash X, my company, which is on calabashx.com. Of course, the link is down low, is below. We offer publishing and synchronization assistance. We also do free distribution for independent artists. But I really advise artists to really take things into their hands. Of course, the company is there, my structure is there to assist those that absolutely need help, and that find it difficult, because this is not something that everybody can do. I go into it myself because as an artist, I found out that there were really no support structures for indie artists, and so I unfortunately all the structures I put in place over 10 years ago, today I'm seeing those benefits. Now it's really useful. I think the final thing I'm going to close up by saying is that by doing this, you're not just protecting yourself for now. You're making sure that your musical estate is your own, remains your own, and that in 20, 30, 40 years time, 50 years time, remember the lifetime of a song is the life of the creator plus 70 years. That your generation, your estate can benefit from your works. Otherwise, you might lose a lot. So take care.